official business. So Vikas, please start how
Yes, sir.
now how what are the new website, how
Yeah,
to register a course, how to conduct course,
sure.
every logistic support and every nitty-gritty of NRP. Vikas, please.
Yeah. Thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity. And today we will start on how to conduct basic NRP courses. So it will consist of everything which is required to conduct a course and how to register for it and how to do the teaching during the course. So first, the first thing which comes in our mind whenever we are uh, doing the course or planning to do the course is when to register for the course and what should be the date for the course. So you should always plan in advance. Register your course at least 4 weeks before the workshop. It is very much necessary because we will have to manage for mannequins and all other things. So it is requested for you to please do it in consultation with your state academic coordinator, because your state academic coordinator will be the person who will be delivering you or providing you with the mannequin kit. So please discuss with him and then only plan for the course at least 4 weeks before the workshop, because you all know that now for a workshop to be completed, first all the participants will have to complete the online module, then only they will be admitted in offline workshop. Now, for whom this basic NRP course is meant? So this basic NRP course is meant for all healthcare workers which are present at birthing place. So please, it is advised, select personals on priority, those who are posted in delivery room. Number of participant in a course, maximum number can be 32 and the minimum number is 16, and it has to be followed on mandatory basis. If you have any deviation from this, then you will have to take prior permission from us. Now, this is regarding the selection of participants. All medical officers posted at birthing centers can do this course. All staff nurses posted at birthing place, obstetrician, pediatrician, anesthetist, PG students, interns who are involved in deliveries, Ayush doctors posted at birthing center, trained nurses or paramedics in private nursing. So we will allow all the persons, all the healthcare workers who are present at maternity hospital or birthing place to do this course. Now the second thing which comes in our mind is selection of instructors. The minimum number of instructors required for training is in ratio of 1:8. So suppose you are doing in training for 16, then 2 are required. For 24, 3 are required. For 32, minimum 4 are required. Now, who can become instructor of basic NRP course? Please remember, only those instructor which are in our list who has updated their profile, only they can become instructor. Nobody else can become instructor. Now you can get that list of instructors from your state academic coordinator. Also, it is present on the registration page where you will register the course. That I will explain you later. So no other instructor will be allowed to do basic NRP course other than the one who is present in our database. And second important thing is the final decision to allow the instructors for a course rests with your state academic coordinator and IAP office. So we can change also the name of instructor if we deem fit. But once you have selected an instructor, you can't change. So the thing is, suppose some instructor you have selected some instructor, but afterwards he is not able to make it up for the workshop, then you can ask your state academic coordinator to make the change. But you on your side can't make the change once you have selected the instructor. So this is very important point. Now, how to register for your course? For registering the course, a link will be sent to you in your state groups. This is the link. It will also be sent to you in your state NRP instructor group. Then you should have to log in with unique ID and password, which is provided by our office. All of you must have got the SMS regarding the ID and password. Please remember, the ID and password which you are using for doing completing online module will not work here. So this is different. So this ID and password will be provided from our office, and it will come by SMS in your mobile phone. If you have not got that SMS, then you can contact your state academic coordinator. Now, when you are registering a course, then you will have to log in as course instruct coordinator, that I will show you in the next slide. And always remember, as I have already said, that before registering any course, please discuss it with your state academic coordinator. Please select the instructors beforehand and take their consent for attending the course, because you will not be able to change the name of instructor once you have registered. But afterwards, you can do it. Afterward, what happens? Only the SEC or central office can change the name of those instructors. So this is the window which will open when you will go to registration page link. So this is your ID, this is your password. Here you should select your role. Here there are 4 roles that you can log in as SEC, you can log in as admin, you can log in as instructor, you can log in as course coordinator. For registering a course, you will have to log in as course coordinator. Remember, the password and ID which has been sent to you will work as password of you in a role of instructor and also in role of course coordinator. But if somehow the course coordinator is not an instructor, then also if he is an IAP member, then he can register a course. But in that case, the course coordinator, because he is not having ID and password, then he will have to register here. So he will have to press here if he is not having the ID and password. So he will register from here, and this page will open where he will fill all the details, and then he will save the data, and we will send the password to that course coordinator by SMS, and then he can register a course. Now this is the first page which will open after you will log in. Then this page will open. So in this course, this will be the list of courses which have uh, already been registered by you. Now it is a new platform. So for registering new course, you will have to press this button, which is register new course. Now this page will open. Now in this page, what you have to do is the date of course, the proposed date should be filled here. Type of course, your course is basic NRP provider course. Place of course, number of expected participant already set to you 16 to 32. Name of lead instructor and name of co-instructors. Here you will get a drop down menu where you will get the name of all the instructors in this list. You can select the name from that and choose that name as lead instructor and co-instructor. Then you have to register. So this you will press this button for register. After registration of your course will be seen over here. What will happen? An ID will be generated. It is a 5-digit ID. It is very important. Please keep this ID with you, because in all future communication, this ID will be required for that particular course. Now the color coding. The yellow color means you have registered the course, but it has not been approved by SEC or central office. Green color will come when the course is approved by state academic coordinator and central office, and red color will come if the course is rejected by state academic coordinator. So you should always register a course with in consultation with your state academic coordinator. So this is your dashboard. So now what you have done is you have selected your participants, you have selected a date, and you have selected your instructors, and you have registered a course. Now, as you all know, now this course consists of 2 modules. One is online module and one is offline workshop. So all the participants who want to do offline workshop has to complete mandatorily the online course. Without this, no one will be admitted for offline course. So now the online course module is this. It is different from the registration page module link. And on this link will also be shared to you in the group. You can share this link to all your prospective participants. Also share with them the 5-digit unique course ID that I was saying. So these two messages you have to send, that your online course link is this and the 5-digit unique course ID is this. As you all know, the course is available in Hindi and English language. Please tell them to sign up first. They will have to, they will be directed to registration page, and where they will have to fill their details, and then they can choose their password, and then they can log in for the course. So this is very important. So this is thing. The course is available in English and Hindi. They have to sign up first. They have to fill all the details and register. After registering, this approval message will come to their mobile, and then they can register with their registered mobile number and password which they have chosen. They can log in. After login, the first thing is introductory video, which will come. After introductory video, you will be sent for a pre-test. This bar will come for next session, which is pre-test. In the pre-test, there are 30 questions. There is no passing marks for pre-test. 15 questions are regarding their behavior and current practice, and 15 questions are regarding knowledge. Tell them there is no passing or fail marks in this thing, but they have to attempt all the questions. After attempting this, they will submit it. After submitting, the next step will be to watch videos. Now there are 8 videos. In these videos, there is a timer. They can't skip the video. They will have to see all the videos. After this time is gone, then they will be prompted for a next step. After each video, initial 5 videos, there will be 4 questions asked regarding the that particular video. Now, these 4 questions, they have to select at least 3 correct answers. So in this, passing marks are there, not in the pre-test, but in this inter-video questions, there are 4 questions. If they are not, if they are not able to correctly do at least 3, then they will be redirected to see the videos again. After this, they will again go to next step, which is next videos. Like this, all 8 videos will complete, and then the thing will come is post-test. Now in post-test, again, there are 25 questions, and please remember, there is no no pass or fail marks in post-test. After post-test is completed, they will be moved to next step, which is download certificate. Now in this certificate will appear. They can save this certificate by just in mobile phone. They have to press the certificate by thumb, and a thing will come, box will come, which will tell them to download the certificate, or they can take screenshot of this in laptop or desktop. They can right click it and save this certificate. Now the important point is this: move to next step, enrollment in course. Till now they have completed the online course, but this is very important step because they have to get enrolled in the course. Here comes the 5-digit ID which I told you, that is your course ID. So you have to fill that 5-digit ID and submit it. Now your participant has been registered for your offline course. Before this step, he or she will not be allowed for offline course. So please tell them mandatorily that they should get their online certificate, and after online certificate, they should enroll in course. So this is very important, and they will submit it. After submitting, they will be enrolled for your offline course. Now, to help out all these things, you are advised to make a WhatsApp group of your course ID with your course ID as the subject matter, and include all the participants and instructors, so that any problem, if any participant finds any problem, he can discuss on the WhatsApp and you can give answers to it. Any of our office bearer or office staff can also help you. You can add them also, and they can also help in solving the queries of the participant. Now, what happened is You have registered the course and you have completed, all your participants have started doing their online course module. Now come back to this dashboard on registration page. So this is your course ID 1005. This is approved. Now press this action button so you can open this course. So this window will open. Here the number of expected participants, suppose it is 16, so it will appear here. Number of participants registered. Here the number of participants will come automatically. Those participants who have completed their online exam and enrolled in your ID, then here their number will will be shown. So every day you should check how many participants have registered, because uh, if these participants are not registered, then they will not be allowed for offline workshop. This uh, this is very important. You should know. Now, what actions you can take on this? The first action when you open the course, this thing is to enter the bank details uh, so that we can transfer the money to you. Now, we will transfer money only to IAP branch accounts. We will not transfer money to any individuals or any institutions account. So please remember, whenever you plan a course, take consent of your local branch or nearest branch to you. Take their consent, take their account details. Please fill the account details over here, branch name, branch city, branch state, and all the account details, and save it. So this is the first step. After this, the second action which comes is course roster. Remember, if you have not completed the action 1, the action 2 will not open. So you have to complete the action 1 to make this action 2 active. Now action 2 is manage course roster. When you will press this, you will get a list of participants. This will be the name of participants who have completed online exam. Remember, you can never add any name here directly. Only those who have completed online course and enrolled in your course ID, only those participants can come here. And you can also, this Excel button is here. You can also export this list in Excel format for your reference. If you want to delete a particular participant, then you can delete from here. Suppose if he is not coming for the offline workshop, then you can delete it. But this on this page, you can see how many of them has completed their online course, and you can tell others to please complete, and tell them without completing this online course, they will not be allowed in offline course. Now, the other point which comes in our mind is what should be the venue for the course. So it is advisable to keep the venue at IMA hall, teaching hospitals, medical college, and public community hall. And we highly discourage the practice of keeping this program in hotels, because there is no budgetary provision for that. And the learning is not very good in those fancy hotels. So please keep it in, if possible, in hospitals only, or in public community halls. The what should be the size of the venue, or what should be the area which is required for this training? The venue can be, there should can be an hall. If there is a big hall, we can do the course over there. But a big hall is not present, then you can do it in rooms also. Make a single workstation in each room. So suppose a facility is having 3 rooms, then you can have 3 workshops, 3 workstations, over 3 or 4 workstations as required in the rooms also. So presence of hall is not mandatory. And if the hall is there, if the venue is in a hall, please make sure that there should be adequate distance between 2 workstations to prevent voiceover. Otherwise, every one workstation, people will be not be able to do their work properly because of the voiceover coming from the other workstation. So at least 10 feet distance should be kept, or you should keep in different rooms. Make workstation in single rooms. Now, where the training material will come, the mannequin kit, as I've already said, will be provided to you by the state academic coordinator. One mannequin kit is for 8 participants. Then other things like what should be the training agenda, algorithm, how the banner should be designed, what certificate has to be given, what are the items which has to be given in folder, and what the items which has to be kept on workstation, PCL, performance evaluation test. This whole thing in soft copy we will provide you once you have registered your course. A mail will come and it will consist of all the soft copy of all the training material which is required. Only the mannequin kit will be supplied by the state academic coordinator. Rest all we have provided to you in soft copy. Now we have provided almost all things in our mannequin kit, but there are certain items which you have to procure locally, and there are very simple things like scissor we have not kept because it can damage the mannequin, cord tie, cotton balls, gloves, vitamin K, mucus extractor. These things you will have to locally arrange. Total number of items required is number of mannequin kits, and you can keep 3 4 extra. uh, Next thing which is required is you have to provide a folder to each participant, and so don't waste much amount on this folder. Please keep it simple, 10 15 rupees plastic folder, and it should consist of pen, pencil, sharpener and eraser. And there is list of items which has to be placed in folder. Soft copies will be provided to you. You have to just get it printed and place in that folder. Also, you will have to arrange for tea, lunch, and evening tea for all participants. Please make sure that lunch should not be very elaborate. We always prefer packaged lunch over buffet lunch because it saves money and time. So please remember this. A working lunch should be provided, not an elaborate lunch like we provide in our conferences should not be provided. Now, what should you do on the day of training? On the day of training, you should make an registration desk and make a responsible person in charge of that registration desk. As soon as the participant reaches the venue, they should be provided with a folder and their attendance should be marked. And also, as soon as the participant come, please assign their workstation at registration desk only. So no time is wasted afterwards in assigning workstation to each one of them. Remember, during the whole duration of this workshop, a person will remain on the same workstation. The instructors will rotate after each session. So the instructors will rotate. The participants should be provided their, they should be assigned workstation as soon as they register for, they come on the registration desk. Now, the folder, what should the folder consist of? It will consist of performance checklist, soft copy will be sent to you. Agenda of the day, we will send you the soft copy. Only you have to edit is, you have to change the, enter the name of venue and date. Basic NRP algorithm, this we will send you in soft copy in Hindi, in English. You have to procure one ball pen, pencil, rubber and sharpener. So these are the 7 items which should be kept in that folder. Now the faculty folder, all these 7 items will be there, plus the performance evaluation test paper will be there in faculty folder. In each faculty folder, there should be at least 10 performance evaluation test paper should be kept, because he will have to take exam of 8 participants. So 2 extra, so 10, and also some extra forms should be available with you during training, because some forms are lost or some damaged, then you can replace them with the new form. So next thing is how to make workstation. So please remember, the size of workstation should be adequate enough to accommodate around 8 people around it, because we are saying that there will be 8 people on workstation. So they should be comfortably sitting in front of this table, and on one side instructors will sit. The length should be minimum 6 feet. So at some places they make very small workstation, then the all are not able to see it properly. So how can you make this 6 feet into 2.5 feet size of workstation? You can join 2 tables, because the routine table which is present with 10 people is around 3 feet to 2.5 feet. You can make bigger than this, but not, please not make a smaller workstation than this. Also, please keep one side table so that all the participants can keep their personal belongings over there. What we have seen is, on this table only everybody will put their folders, their mobile phone, their bags, and then this this becomes scramble. So on this table, tell them to please keep only mannequin kit and other items required for resuscitation, so that everybody can very easily see the things which are going on workstation. In hall, as I've already said, if you are doing it in a big hall, then please make sure that there should be adequate distancing of 10 feet. If the hall is small, please keep adjoining rooms for making workstation. In the hall, you can make one or two workstation if the hall is small, and two workstation in adjoining rooms. But please maintain at least distance of 10 feet. Now, what are the equipment and supplies which are required on workstation? Please remember, you should set the workstation uh, before training starts, so that the time is not wasted for arranging all the equipments and supplies on workstation. What all has to be kept on workstation is, first is attendance sheet. This is important because after every session, the instructor will rotate. So every time the new instructor comes to that workstation, he will take attendance of all the participants on that workstation. Remember, tell the participants also that the attendance for whole day is required. Sometimes what we have seen is the person will come in morning at registration desk, sign it, and after 1 2 hours he will leave the place for for his own work, and he will come again in the evening. So this will not be allowed. Please tell them that attendance in all 4 sessions is required, is a must, otherwise they will not be provided the certificate for offline workshop. You should be very strict in this. Attendance is a must, and every instructor, whenever he comes to that workstation, he will take the attendance. Second is mannequin. It has to be filled with water and air, and this will be provided from us. Ventilation bag, it is in the mannequin kit. Mask, 2 0 and 1 number size, also in mannequin kit. 2 cotton sheets provided with mannequin kit. Suction device provided with mannequin kit, but you also should keep one or two extra. Cord clamp and scissors, as I have already told, you have to arrange. Cotton balls, vitamin K injection, syringe, you have to arrange. Shoulder roll will be provided with the mannequin kit. Oxygen tubing will be provided with the mannequin kit. Gloves you can manage, and stethoscope is provided with the mannequin kit. So most of the things are provided, but we will also send the soft copy of this thing, the items required in folder and items required on workstation. So you can check it on each workstation that these items are present before start of the workshop. Now comes the most important part, which is uh, teaching methodology of basic NRP course. As you all have seen that in recent years, uh, in many of courses, the exact principles of teachings were not used that we envisaged. Also, the timing was not perfectly balanced, and most of the time, the discussion was on science and knowledge. So, I request you please to understand that the science and knowledge part we have already completed in the online module, and this workshop is only for enhancing or gathering new skills. So please keep this in mind every time. Please don't enter into scientific discussion on the work in the workshop. Everybody will prompt you to give some new ideas or discuss about regarding science and knowledge. So please, it's my request that please don't enter into discussions with the participants regarding science and knowledge. Please focus yourself to develop skills and to enhance their skills, and to uh, uh, help them get in having new skills. So this is very important. So this is the motto of our teaching methodology. Tell all the participants to remain there here in capacity of skill birth attendant. Always emphasize to them that adequate ventilation is more important than oxygen. Quick action with bag and mask is more important than intubation. And all of many of seniors are present over here. We have who are NRP instructor from last 10, 12 years. They might be knowing that after learning this skill of bag and mask ventilation, rarely we need rarely we do need for intubation in baby in the labor room. So this you can tell them that quick action with bag and mask and proper bag and mask ventilation is the key for success of basic NRP program. Advanced procedure are needed only in small proportion of cases. As you all know, only 1% of cases required intubation, medication, volume, all those things, medication and chest compression. So please tell them by learning this skill, they will be able to help 99% of babies, and not by they will not be able to help by discussing the science. They will be of any help if they do the correct, they gather the skill of doing bag and mask ventilation correctly on mannequin, then it is important. The science or knowledge is not so important in this case. So what will be the teaching methodology for this? As you all know, training will be done in workstation. There will be 4 sessions. The agenda which we will provide to you consists of 4 sessions. First session is for preparation for birth. Second, routine care and initial step. Third, ventilation. And fourth is performance evaluation test. As I have already said, instructor will rotate after each session. Participant will remain. Training will be done using PCL. Now, all the instructors should be aware of concept of PCL and how to use it. It is very important. PCL is meant to provide the learner with step-by-step outline of procedure, and it has to be used during practice phase of the session. The purpose of PCL is to let the participant memorize all the steps of resuscitation in correct sequence and how to perform the individual step correctly on many. So these two things are important. He should do it in correct order and correctly on mannequin. So this is very important. This is one sample of PCL which I am giving. For example, this is for preparation for birth. So here first is risk factor, then ensure warm, then wash hand, then prepare equipment and check function. So this order is also very important. Suppose a participant first prepares equipment and then washes hand, then it will be wrong, because then the equipment will not remain sterile or hygienic. So this is very important. Please tell them this order is important, and also they should do it correctly. So this is PCL is made so that they can memorize this order and how to do it on many. Remember, PCL is not time bound. Let the participant tell the participant this PCL is for practice. For doing each step, the participant has to speak out what he is doing. And second thing is he has to perform on mannequin also. So both things are important. The participant will speak out and also perform. But remember, the thing which he is performing on mannequin is more important than what he is speaking out. So as an instructor, you should tell them, you should always tell them that we will see what you are performing. We will also hear what you are speaking out, but we are more concerned about what you are performing. Because in many times in previous workshops, we have seen that instructors become lenient. The participant is saying that I am drying the baby, but in actuality on mannequin, he is not drying the baby properly. He is just touching the cloth on 3 parts of the body, and the instructor will take that step as done. But this should not be done. This should not be done. Otherwise, the whole purpose of this workshop will be defeated. The thing is that person should very completely dry the baby. All the body parts should be clean and the wet linen should be removed. This you have to see in each step. Whenever he is doing suction also, he will say, I am doing suction from mouth, nose. But if he is not putting the correct length of tube in mouth and nose, then you should not count that that step is done. So what PCL is made? PCL is made to find out these problems only. So in this PCL, what you will do, for every step which is done correctly on mannequin and in correct order, you will do a tick. Otherwise, what you will do is you will draw a circle that either this step is not done correctly or it was or not in correct order. So these two things are very important. Please remember this. Now, how we will start the workshop? Suppose you are going for a session, then brief 3 to 4 minutes, maximum 5 minutes, you will discuss the content of that work, that particular session. Suppose you are doing the session for preparation for birth, then you will for 5 minutes you will tell them that washing hand is very important, and then how to prepare, what are the equipment supplies which are required, what is the reason or logic behind all those things. Then you will tell all the participants to please uh, take out their PCL, the pencil and eraser and sharpener. And so why we have kept this pencil, eraser and sharpener in the folder? For this purpose. Now every participant will take out their PCL. Now you will start performing. Tell them about the concept of PCL beforehand. Why this PCL is made, what is the motto behind this PCL, and tell all the participants that I will perform this preparation for birth. Now see to me and check whether I am doing it correct or not. So tell them, they will mark a right tick if I have done it correctly and in correct order, or circle it if I have not done it correctly. So please, first you will have to perform in front of all the participants, and they then take feedback from the participants whether they are able to catch your mistake or whether they are able to point out what you have left or not. So this is very important. And now this thing will continue. When first you will perform, then the participants will perform. Whenever any participant will perform, all the other participants and you will be checking his PCL. It will help all the participants also to concentrate, and it will help in remembering all the steps completely. So this is very important.
Guys,
Second
can I
important,
interrupt?
yeah.
So, how to start a workstation? First, very quick knowledge check of all participants. Very important leading question like how much time one should ventilate, like 30 seconds or 1 minute, like this. Then stick only to PCL. What usually happen with PCL? People do not stick on sequence or algorithm. Cross discussion always starts. So keep discussion away. Just stick to sequence of event and make a right tick or round at the boxes. So please always stick to sequence and algorithm. No cross discussion during on theory during PCL session. Yes, over to Vikas.
Thank you, sir. So whenever a second problem which we have seen during teaching is, suppose a participant is performing a PCL and if he is not able to do it properly, then immediately everybody will start interrupting. First person to interrupt is the instructor only. He will say, no, do it like this. No, you are doing it, not doing it correctly. So please remember, never interrupt in between the performance of that participant. Also tell other participants to do not give any cues when he is performing. Third is, it is not time bound. Tell the participant to relax. This is not time bound. So he should do it correctly and never interrupt in between. Suppose a participant is not able to start, or if he after starting with the first step he gets blacked out and he is not able to perform, then tell him to sit down, but don't give him cues that do this, do that, do that. Tell him to sit down and then give him a next chance when all other participants are finished. So after the completion of PCL only you should provide feedback. Always remember that we are in this workshop. We have nomenclatured you as an instructor, but in reality you are a facilitator. You are not instructor, because it is adult learning principle. There are no instructors. All the persons who are coming in our workshop are adults. So please remember, you are facilitator. Think yourself as facilitator. Never scold them or just start pointing their mistakes at the start. Always remember to provide positive feedback first. And also, whenever there are other participants also, tell other participants, ask other participants what he has not done correctly, or what things can have been done more correctly, or what are the steps which he has not done. So rather giving your findings, tell other participants, so all will be actively involved in the learning. Tell them, and if something is still lacking, then you can give your feedback that this thing also can have been done in another way. So this is very important point. Also, as I've already said, if a participant is not able to perform, give him a second chance, not immediately, but after all others have completed, and tell him to see all the participants when they are performing, so he will be able to learn it properly. So this is very important. If you will use PCL properly, then only we will be able to achieve what we want from these workshops. Also remember, there will be such many participants will be which will incite you to in doing discussions regarding science. In advanced NRP this is done, and we have been taught like that in that book, and this has to be done in this way. So please tell them that we are following the revised NSSK guidelines provided by Government of India. We will be providing you the soft copy also. You can tell them that we will share the soft copy with you, and if you have any queries, then you can ask us in private chat or in email, but do not discuss over the workstation. Do not waste time in that. The time allotment is very important. For preparation for birth, 1 hour; for routine care initial step, 1.5 hours; for brief ventilation, for ventilation we have kept 2 hours. Whenever you are starting this 4, 5, 6, this session, this is very important session. Please remember, at the start you have to tell regarding the parts of bag and how to clean it. Second thing is how to make good seal. Let all the participants first make a good seal on mannequin. Tell them the method to make good seal, and let them make a good seal, and let them ventilate it with correct rate and rhythm. Breathe 2, 3. Give a practice of this for first 10 to 15 minutes, then start the PCL. So because this is the crux of our workshop, this ventilation. So it has to be done very correctly, and everybody, the aim motto of this workshop is, after this workshop, every participant should be confident enough to do bag and mask ventilation correctly. And the last is performance evaluation test.
Because just a
Yeah.
minute, what happens many times that people keep PCL on table and they start discussing or performing. Instructor and participant should keep his PCL printout in hand and pencil on another hand. So each participant have to check or write, make a tick on PCL. होता क्या है कि एक परफॉर्म कर रहा है, उससे सील नहीं बन रही, दूसरा पार्टिसिपेंट उसे तो अलग हटा के खुद ही विल स्टार्ट बैगिंग. सो टेबल का एक डेकोरेन और डिसिप्लिन भी ट्रेनिंग में बना के रखना है. फर्स्ट लेट अ पर्सन परफॉर्म, उसके पीसीएल you check and other participant may check, and then they give their feedback. So again same point, stick on printout, stick to PCL and practice one by one. Okay, Vikas, please
Yes, sir.
continue.
A very nice thing you have said. So this is very important. What sir has said is to keep discipline on the table. The discipline should be yours. There should be no chaos. Only the person you have told should perform on that PCL, and everybody else should check on their PCL. Therefore, we are providing pencil. After one performance, they can erase it and again reuse the PCL. Now comes the performance evaluation test. Now, what is this performance evaluation test and how it is different from PCL? In PCL, what you have seen is we have taught the different steps of resuscitation, which are divided in 6 parts. And it was not time bound, as you have seen. We have already did. But in performance evaluation test is made to evaluate the candidate's performance on real time on mannequin. So it is now time bound. So please explain before starting PT to a participant that now in PCL it was not time bound. Second thing, in PCL what we have said is they will have to speak out what they are doing and they have to do it on mannequin. But now this is not there. They will only have to perform on mannequin. There is no need to speaking out each step. Why we have done speaking out in PCL? Because we want that by speaking out we can remember the steps. So now we have remembered all the steps. Now the thing is they will have to perform in time, and while speaking they should not waste the time. So what are our 2 points? Like for initial steps, we 30 seconds initial steps should be completed, and within 1 minute of birth ventilation should be started if the baby is not breathing. These two are our major endpoints. And then other is that ventilation should be done in blocks of 30 seconds. One important thing is, as soon as the participants start ventilation on bag, then immediately after 4 5 seconds he will ask 30 seconds ho gaye, and the instructor will say yes, 30 seconds over. So please don't do this practice. Please allow the participant to ventilate at least for 30 seconds every time. This I have seen in many workshops. The participant will ventilate for 3, 4, maximum 5 times, and then he will ask the instructor, 30 seconds pure ho gaye? Instructor will say, yes, ho gaye. No. Please tell them in advance that whenever the 30-second time period is over, you will make a you will tell them that person that 30 second is over, or you can give one verse to one participant and tell that participant that after every 30 second he will raise an alarm, 30-second completed, 30-second completed. So there is no need to ask in between. The participant has to perform for 30-second ventilation. Now, you can also show them the videos which we have done on online module. After certificate, you can anytime watch any videos. It is present in the menu of your online module. So as an instructor also, you should a day before the training, see the videos again, where you can find the difference. In the first 5 videos, which are based on PCL, I am speaking it out and doing it on mannequin. But when the case studies come, then I am not speaking it out. I am speaking only when I want to speak, like when I want to ask about the condition of the baby, or when I am ventilating the baby, I have to speak it out, breathe 2 3 every time. So only these 2 times I am speaking, otherwise I am doing it on many. So this is very important concept. You should explain it before. And same as PCL, PET also, you should first perform and then other participants will do. Now, this is the PET form. Uh, 0 is given if the step is either not done or not done correctly. 1, if the step is done correctly, but it is out of order. 2, if the done correctly and in order. Now, these are things. As you can see in this PET, now we have given away that passing marks concept. Only thing is, as an instructor, you should be sure, you should be it is your decision that whether you think this participant has got skills enough to do in resuscitation. If the answer is yes, you can pass that participant. Only thing is, for your reference, we have provided these 5 bold items. What we require is at least these 5 bold items should be done correctly, which is the same that the participant should know the proper technique of doing positive pressure ventilation for 30 seconds. So it is your decision. In this, you will please write the name of the participant, and it should be written in bold letters, your name, date, also your signature and your name here also. Please remember this document is very important because it will have to be submitted after the course for each participant. So please remember to sign it properly with proper name, and whether the participant is passed or re-evaluation is needed or retraining is needed. Now, these all points I have already discussed. Now, what are the collection of documents after courses? As you know, now we have completed the course. So now what we have to collect is, we have to collect performance evaluation test paper of each participant with their name. Then we have to have 3 group photographs. So from different angles, which should consist of all participant and instructor. A short video less than 1 minute not on very high definition video because it will be difficult to upload it. Simple video of 1 minute shot on your mobile phone of the training of it should one less than 1 minute, 30-40 seconds, and it should show the whole training venue. And then when there is a declaration form, this form will be sent to you in soft copy, and you can get it printed, and it should be signed by all instructors and course coordinator. In this declaration form, it is written that so many number of participants attended the course, so many passed, so many required retraining, and we have taken no fees from any participant, and also we have taken no sponsorship. Remember, you can't take any fees from any participant for this course. Second is, you can't take any sponsorship from any other organization or company. This program is an academic grant from Johnson and Johnson, and no other company can or person can sponsor it. Also, we can't take fees from any participant. So you will come to this manage course roster. Now action 2 will come. Here now you will see all the name of participants who have completed the online course. Now you have to say you have to edit their result. So you will press this edit button. This page will open, the name of participant. Then you will declare the result, whether is passed or retraining required. Remember, this course roster can be filled either by course coordinator or lead instructor, and not by anybody other. So you should complete it like this result, and then you have to update or upload the performance evaluation test of that particular participant. Suppose you are not able to upload so many papers, then here there will be a checkbox in which it is written that you will submit the paper in physical form to central office. You tick that button, then there is no need to upload that PT form, but you will have to send the PT form along with your bills and vouchers to central IAP office, and they will be verified over there, and then only your the money will be transferred into account. And save this. So you have to do it for each participant. So for each participant, go to this edit, declare their result, and upload either their PT form or send the PT form in physical form. Now, second thing is what I have said is that manage, upload group photos and video and declaration form. In this, as I have already said, you will have to keep 3 group photos. Choose head. Here it will be written group photo 1. Choose that, upload that group photo. Group photo 2, upload group photo 2. Video, upload declaration form. So now regarding the budget, of course, I will request Dr. Sanjeev Kumar is here. So he is our assistant project manager, and he is a very brilliant person. And as you all know, you might be interacting with him. So now he will let you know about the budget and all other things. Sanjeev, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you. Thank you, sir.
So I should stop my share and you will share, or what I have to? Should I stop share?
Yes, sir. You can stop sharing and make me host, sir.
Yeah, I will make you the host. Yeah, I have made you host. Now you can share your screen.
Thank you, Dr. Vikas, sir. So from now onwards, I will proceed from the budget part of this NRP program. Sir, is this visible to all?
Mm-hmm. Make it full screen.
Make it full screen, please. Make it full screen.
Now it is visible.
From the budget part, the provision of total budget for the basic NRP is limited up to rupees 1,000 per participant. For example, if you have 32 participants, the maximum allotted budget will be rupees 32,000 only. No extra amount, no extra financial support will be provided by IAP NRP, and neither you can take any fees or any sponsorship from any other agencies. And every bill to be made in the name of IAP NRP FGM project. after the submission of bills and documents, all the lead instructors or the course coordinator has to fill the roster, in which each participant you have to upload the scanned copy of PT, either they have passed or not, as already told by Dr. Vikas sir. Now you have to upload all the details of the expenses under various heads with their supporting bills and vouchers to be uploaded on the instructor page. Also, you have to upload the declaration form. The various expenses which are allowed under following heads may be honorarium, travel allowance, that is rupees 1500 to the local faculty and rupees 2000 for outstation faculty. The accommodation, if there is any accommodation to the outside faculty, that the bill should be made in actual. The expenses of a food should not exceed rupees 350 per participant. It's not fixed 350, but you can plus minus 10 or 20 rupees, but it has to be adjusted in that expenses only. For stationery, should not exceed rupees 100 per participant. Venue charges rupees 100 per participant, and in miscellaneous, that should not exceed 100 per participant. And the budget of the course, as soon as you register the course is accepted by your state academic coordinator and it's by central IAP office. The estimated budget, 40% of the estimated budget is immediately sent to your account. While registering your course, you have to give your account details of the nearest IAP branch in the instructor page of the website. No funds should be transferred in the individual's account, and the final payment will be done after the submission of your bills and vouchers. So the next part in the action number 4, as you have seen in your action number 4, edit expense and documents, bills and vouchers. When you click here, you will see this one. The details given here of your course ID 10005. Allocated budget. For example, you have 36 members. The allocated budget is 36,000, and total uploaded expenses at the time of approval by the central IP office that was submitted. If it was deposited to your account is 10,000, that it will be shown to here. And in every expense, you will show the expense head, whatever it is of accommodation, food or stationery. You have to describe its bill number, voucher number, and its amount, and the supporting bill or voucher, the file image to be uploaded here.
Sanjeev, 1 minute.
Right, sir.
I will interrupt you. So please, this thing, the voucher we will. Sanjeev, please. Yeah. So in this voucher, please go back. Yeah. We will also provide you a template of voucher. We have already made a standard template of voucher, which we will send it to you. So any expense made through voucher should be done on that voucher, and bills should be actual. So here it is your allocated budget, which is 36,000. Now you have to add on your expenses. As you will add on, this amount will appear here. 10,000 means you have already uploaded bills and vouchers of 10,000. So there is no need to counting how many bills we have added. So this will show you the.
So please unmute yourself, sir. Vikas, sir.
Okay. So this is the expense, total uploaded expense, and then you can write the name of expense head, then the description and the amount, and then add another one. So this is for that purpose. The template of voucher is given to you. Okay, Sanjeev, next.
After you done with this process, you will proceed to this page where you can view the amount sent by admin. This is the detailed view of that page. Here it is written course ID, date, the amount allotted, and the sent account, and all the description of the bills and vouchers which you have uploaded through images, and that will summarized here, and you can submit it. Thanks for my part. And in case of any problem, there are two numbers given this. One is of mine and second is of Chandrasekhar Joshi from Central IFA office. You can contact us in case of any query, any help. We are always ready to help you out. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Sanjeev. Now, the important point in budget is your expenses should be limited to the permitted amount only. We will not allow anything else from that amount. Second thing is all bills and vouchers should be made in name of IAP, NRP, FGM. Please remember this. Third point is you will have to upload the bills and vouchers on website on this instructor page, and also you will have to send it in physical format to our central IAP office. The address on which you have to send will be present on this registration page only, and we will also share the address, or you can ask us in your group. We will share the address where you have to send all the bills, vouchers, and the PET form. There are two options for PET form. You can either upload it or you can send it in physical form. So for doing a course, what is required? Only 5 things have to be uploaded. One is your group photos. Second is a video, short video. One is declaration form, then bills and vouchers. And PET is optional. You can do PET, either you can upload it or you can send it in physical format to central office. You will be all the amounts after sending all the bills and vouchers, you will be sent all the amounts. It is our request that please do this. The roster you can fill on the day of training only, because otherwise the courses, many courses we are seeing that after completion 1 month, 2 months, we are not getting the bills and vouchers, and it becomes headache for us and you also. On the same day as a course coordinator, when you are in the for the course, as soon as the training completes, as soon as the participants PET forms are completed, just upload it or just write their result, pass or retraining required. So roster part should be completed on that day only. And on the next day, only thing is you have to upload group photos and bills and vouchers. We expect from you that within 7 days, you should complete all these formalities. It will be easier for us and easier for you also, so that you can get timely payments from our side. Thank you. Now, Dr. Vineet, sir.
Yes, so friends, this is all about logistic support and administrative, as all administrative